All right, ladies and gentlemen, from the low desert of the great American Southwest, we're reporting from Phoenix, Arizona.
Live.
I'm Kale.
I'm Rachel.
And we operate the Electric Bat Arcade in Tempe.
That's right.
Yeah. Today's an exciting show. This is a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Because we have the earnings report.
The world famous earnings report.
You want to get right into the earnings report?
No, I think we should start off by making note of how special today is. Today.
I had no idea.
Today. Is your birthday.
Well, thank you very much. I know a lot of you have wished me happy birthday on social media,
and the rest of you that haven't, let's get to
text messages and all that good stuff. I got flowers.
Yeah,
I think this is the first time I've received flowers.
They were for me.
Thank you so much. And we started this podcast on your birthday of this year.
That's right.
So we decided to have the last episode on my birthday.
That's right.
Not today.
Oh, no.
But in the future, on one of my future birthdays, we'll do the last episode. Not this isn't the last episode. Hope I didn't worry anybody out there. But thank you for the birthday wishes from you and everybody else out there.
You're very special. We all appreciate you. You're one of a kind.
I appreciate being appreciated. Yeah, this has been great. So now
we can get into
we get into the earnings report. This is a fan favorite. This is something we all look for. I look forward to it too because I don't even know what it is.
That's right. And we are doing the highest and lowest earners.
Okay.
What's your guess for the highest earner of November 2023?
Now this is tricky because things change. That's why it's tricky. Right. That's I'm gonna say top earner Venom.
Did you look at this?
Is it Venom?
It's Venom.
This is the third month in a row. Is that right?
I'd have to double check that. I don't remember if this is the third month in a row.
Okay.
Godzilla may have hopped in there once.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what's interesting. There's only $13 that separate the top earner from the third earner. So 1, 2, and 3 are basically like a couple of tournament rounds apart.
Okay.
Number 2 is Stranger Things. That's always been a favorite.
Everybody loves that.
Number 3 is Bond 60th. People love that game.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 4, Godzilla. I know you were waiting for it. It's always in the top 5. Still a great earner.
Right.
Number 4. And number 5, Batman 66.
That's a new entry.
It's a new entry.
To the top 5.
It's always in the top 10. But no one has any way of knowing that because we only cover the top 5.
Yeah, so that's a little surprise.
Yeah.
You have a that's a 4-year-old game, 5. I don't know.
I think it's older. Is it older than that? I'm trying to remember what year it was.
It is the first Spike 2 release, first one with an LCD screen.
But yeah,
and a great game.
Great game.
Lyman sheets.
All of the rest of the games are from the most
Code and Rules.
Roughly a year.
Very cool.
Yeah, so the lowest earners. Do you want to know the very bottom or the 5th from the bottom? Well, how do you want to do this?
Well, let's start out at the 5th from the bottom.
5th from the bottom. Getaway.
Getaway.
The Getaway is 5th from the bottom.
That's a fan favorite.
Yeah, people love that game.
And a great tournament game.
Fantastic tournament game. It's always fun watching the new people, like when it's shift gears, and you want to tell them, like, God, just hit the little thing.
Right.
but you can't because it's a tournament. Second from the 5th from the last is Meteor. Meteor.
Another fantastic game.
Excellent game.
Yeah.
But there it is. These games really surprise me. I'm sure that they must be surprising the listeners. Jackpot.
Okay.
It's a nice jackpot.
Right.
It's a fun game.
Plays incredibly well.
But there it is. And then one that stays near the bottom, Who Done It?
Well, yeah.
Isn't it so weird that there's a game that people love so much that earns so little?
Yeah. Well, maybe last time we talked about it, it got a little bump.
It got a bump, yeah. But that one, if you take it out, people beg you to bring it back. But
all right, well, so we might get a bump here.
And then the bottom one,
and the one that's leaving the arcade, drum roll, ladies and gentlemen,
Paragon.
It's not really leaving the arcade.
If I had my way, though, it might be. That game, always the worst tournament game for me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like it, because it shakes things up.
Yeah. Well, it does shake things up. It usually shakes things up in a way that puts me at the bottom.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll practice it.
Yeah, okay, we'll practice
That's one game we never practice. We go in and we play. Like lately, we've been playing, and I guess this is a good time to bring this up. Stern Insider Connected, one of our great sponsors.
Absolutely.
We spent all day yesterday getting all these badges.
We got a ton of badges.
Right.
Yes, Bond. We've been focusing on the Bond badges.
There are more badges, but right now we're focusing on Bond. And we have 7 days?
Yeah, it's 7 days. It's yesterday the 7th through the 13th, I think.
Yeah. And
13th.
And and this is so much fun because they're like team badges. Like you log in with friends to get a total score. I think it was like 77 million.
Everything is focused on sevens.
Yeah, the lucky 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Bond. What really blew me away was how many people were making special trips to the arcade just to get these badges.
Yeah, people that work there.
Yeah, right. They came in,
including us.
Yeah, to get badges, and we spent hours like talking to people about why are you guys playing so much? You usually just fixing machines. Well, we're trying to get these Insider Connected badges. Yeah, yeah. So that's fun.
That's very fun, and
I still have a lot more to collect.
I think we got. I think I got 4 of them last night.
I think I got 2 or maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I got.
You have to go in each of the days, so we may have to go into work on your birthday.
Interesting.
To play some pinball,
right?
If we want to be super sevens.
And then what's really exciting, Mike Vinacore will be here soon.
Oh, for your birthday?
Yeah, he'll be here.
Making a birthday trip out.
Sunday.
Yeah,
he'll be here Sunday, and we can try to get some badges with him. Although he may already have all of them. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
he'll help us badge
badges.
hunt. Yeah. Good deal. You know what? I've got a lot of questions from the very beginning of the podcast in person and through messages on Discord and what have you. And if you want to join our Discord, go to electricbatarcade.com and click the podcast tab, and there's a link to join the Discord. They ask if this is a green screen. The bookshelf, the book collection. Yeah.
That would be a bizarre green screen. Right. No, these are books. This is a book.
Oh.
Here's just as an example, we got some Snow Crash right there. These are real books. This is
Rachel's book collection.
This is some of
crazy. This isn't even all of it. Yeah. We're big fans of reading, and you should be too. Go grab yourself a book today at your local public library.
Thanks, LeVar.
It's free. Next on the docket.
Okay.
Yodeck. Okay, so our friends at Stern Insider Connected turned me on to this.
Mr. Michael Grant, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of cool. We received one in the mail. We went with Stern uses Yodeck to push all of the data to their monitors at their booth at conventions, and they suggested we give this a try. And there are other arcades that are using it also, and I can't remember who it was. Like 2 folks who have been using it offered, if they said if we had any issues, just they would help us out with it.
I remember that was very nice, but I also don't remember which folks specifically.
Right, but thank you guys. I can't remember who it was, but thank you so much. Love the community.
Yeah.
Yodeck, very cool. For you arcade owners who are not familiar with Yodeck, it's digital signage software and browser-based software and hardware. So you sign up for the service, which is absolutely free.
I love that.
As long as you're just pushing content to one television.
Okay.
Totally free. That's awesome. And the hardware you can use a Raspberry Pi, so you can get your own Raspberry Pi and then flash the memory with Yodeck software and use that, or you can order the Yodeck device. We decided to get the Yodeck device.
Yeah, we wanted to just eliminate any possible weirdness.
Right. We wanted to see what their hardware was like, and it's like $70 or $80, and it's a Raspberry Pi in a very cool metal case. It was totally worth it. But what's cool is, so you get this device, and there's, as long as you're pushing it to one television, there's still no subscription fee.
Yes.
So you're not tied to anything. Yeah, it's a great way to try this thing out. Then, if you do get a subscription, you can run multiple TVs, and they'll even send you some devices for free.
Oh, so it's the pay monthly, we'll give you free stuff model, right, or the pay once and you get free stuff.
So you have options.
I like owning everything outright. So we went with the pay, and we just have it up on the one TV in the big room.
Sure.
And then we're running
Amazon Fire Stick running the Odin browser
in the other room.
On the other room.
Okay.
The reason for all this, and we mentioned this in other podcasts, that the so one television we have that's actually like near the bar is a 1080, and so it's running the Odin browser in 1080. We're having no issues with that. It shows the Insider Connected website just fine. On the 4K TV, we couldn't even open the Odin browser on a Fire Stick. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a Fire Stick. It's a ON device.
That's
it's an Android device.
It's like the Walmart brand or something, right?
Right, exactly. And they're very inexpensive, and that's why it's a great thing to try out first, you know. Now, since we couldn't run Odin on the 4K TV, I was like, well, what do I do? And this is when they suggested the Yodeck. Yodeck setup was very easy. There's so much, and now this is all browser-based.
Okay.
And there are so many variables. This is the kind of software and hardware that restaurants use. Restaurants or bars, or I could even see maybe stadiums or convention centers using this.
Basically anywhere you see a TV that's like changing the menu or showing an ad or something. That's probably a Yodeck.
Food pictures. Yodeck or something similar.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So, food shots. So the cool thing about this, if you use this in your bar, your brewery, to show Insider Connected stuff, you can show other things. So what we've done is...
This is my favorite part.
You do. You love this. We display the Stern Insider Connected for 2 minutes. You can set up a playlist on the back end of the Yodeck software. So we show the Stern Insider Connected leaderboard for 2 minutes. And we fade to a commercial I shot. And I just, during one of the tournaments, I just used my phone to shoot some video, overlaid some text, and it's an ad for our Tuesday tournaments.
Yeah.
Fade to the leaderboard, the Insider Connected leaderboard for another 2 minutes.
And then what?
And then it goes to a still of our tournament winner.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And this is the Tuesday tournament winner, who was Mark the Shark Pearson.
Yeah.
And it's good. And that just keeps going. And you can put more stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some weird, creepy commercials.
Oh, I bet you are.
You'll be able to tell which ones I made and which ones Kale made. Kale's will look nice and polished and like friendly, and then mine will be kind of gritty and people will be like, why is this here?
Black and white, a little noise.
It'll be. You'll know. But it's really cool to go into the arcade and you see people like looking up, oh, there's me, I'm on the TV.
Right.
It's great.
So Yodeck's been good.
Success.
Yes. At first, I did run into some issues setting it up. Had some type of little glitch, but I just had to fix it. I didn't even get in touch with tech support. I went to their Yodeck has a great YouTube channel with all kinds of troubleshooting stuff, and I had to pull out the memory. It has a little memory card in there. Delete a preferences folder, reinstall it, and then set it up again, and everything's been working fine now.
Yeah. And you can have it turn off and turn on its own. So you can have it on a schedule, which is great.
Yes.
No bartenders have to turn it on or off.
Right. This is
all, and you can change it from home.
Right.
So if we're on vacation or something like that, and you want to show people pictures of you on the beach, we can throw that up in the arcade.
I think that's one of the great things because every time we do a tournament, we have to change the television.
Yeah.
So every Tuesday we have to have the match play. Mm-hmm. Now I can do it from my browser. I used to fidget with a remote. You have to put in a Bitly link. Use some kind of
a bunch of
URL
stuff.
shortener and mess around with the remote. Now it's all in the browser. So Yoddeck is freaking awesome. Thank you for the recommendation, folks at Stern Insider Connected.
Yep.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Yoddeck.
What else we got?
We have. Do you know the prizes for Chewy's end of year tournament?
Oh my gosh, there are so many things.
First of all, when is the tournament?
It's Sunday, December 17th, and it starts at noon.
And Chewy does this every year.
This is the very special one, right? So everybody knows about Chewy's world famous Bounty Knockout, and this is the very special holiday edition, end of the year. And the way he does it is he wants to be sure that there are prizes for. It used to be prizes for everyone, but now we have so many people. It's prizes for the first 52 people that show up are guaranteed. There may be more prizes beyond 52, but if you show up in the first 52, you get a prize. And he's got a system. I think you like draw a playing card, and that's tied to an envelope. And then at the end,
I remember that was.
It's like this whole. Of course, Chewy's got a system for how all these things are going to play out. Yeah, and the prizes range anywhere from like $10 token bags or something. On that end, there's a lot of like free Wendy's Frosties. That's like a perennial favorite. You get Frosties for a year.
They last all year.
Unlimited.
The little tiny Frosty, which is perfect.
Yeah. And you can get like 365 of them. And then I think this year the biggest dollar value prize is one of the Stern light up signs. So that's like a $500 prize.
Courtesy of Game Room Goodies.
Yes, thank you,
another
Game Room
sponsor
Goodies.
of the show. Thank you so much, Game Room Goodies. They support us to no end. We'll talk more about those guys in a little bit.
Yes, we appreciate them very much. Thank you, Game Room Goodies.
Yeah.
Sponsor of the show.
And so Chewy's tournament is when?
December 17th. That's a Sunday. At noon.
Cool. And not only is it a lot of fun, and Chewy gives out a ton of prizes. I don't think there's any tournament that gives out more prizes than this. I mean, a $500 gift. Also, it's your chance to get in some Whopper points before the end of the year.
Yes, there are so many people riding that cusp. We've been checking every single day. The scores went in today for your birthday for the last league. And this is a big announcement. For the first time, Kale has surpassed me in the IFPA rankings. And he didn't just like surpass me by a little bit. You're like now 200 places above me. You went from like way below me. You've been performing. Something is up. I don't know what it is.
Thank you.
Maybe we got to check your diet. Maybe it's all the jujitsu. Maybe it's the cold plunges. I don't know. But you're playing phenomenally.
Something's working, huh?
So happy birthday. You're better than me.
Well, thank you. I don't know.
Now.
I don't know if I go that far, but yeah. I did.
So this is a chance to get some Whopper points. There are so many people trading places at that 24th slot for Arizona State
I wish I could tell you what's going on. Roland is always messaging me going, man, you're getting so much better, proud of you. And I think it's all mental. I like stopped trying so hard and just let things happen and
let the ball come to you.
Let the machine come to me.
Yeah.
That's how you play pinball. That's great, and thank you so much for the kind words. It's been a blast, and I love playing with all these folks. We have been experimenting with a cool new toy.
Yes, we got it in the mail
from Marco Specialties, another friend and sponsor of the show.
Yeah, our listener Scott Solomon pushed me over the edge. I was on the fence, and he's like, you guys are doing it wrong. You are hurting your backs for no reason. You are way too old to be doing it the way... He didn't say that part, but it's true. We're too old to be turtling
that's
games.
Tacit.
Yeah, that's... It's... Yes. And so we ordered a Pinjack from Marco Specialties, and it's very easy to use. I'm very small. I have very small hands. Minimal hand strength. That's not my forte.
Yep.
And I can, lift a free fall with, one hand.
Right.
Jack it up and then do what I need to do with the leg levelers.
Sure.
And then just put it back down. I was nervous that the putting it down part was going to result in a machine like just slamming on the floor. I didn't know if I'd be able to control that. But I can.
Right.
I'm small. No hand strength. Works great.
Completely
so I would
works.
recommend this for everybody.
Yes. And so if you haven't seen this thing, go head over to marcospecialties.com.
Or Marco Pinball, anything.
Yep.
Anything related to Marco.
Just search Pinjack. It should pop up there.
We meant to bring it home. We forgot.
Yeah, we were going to show you guys. But go check it out on the Marco site. It is way easier to use than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Because you went under a machine... a 250-pound machine, and it doesn't take a lot of grip strength. I thought it would take a lot. Like, I would be doing it with two hands.
Yeah.
It's a one hand. You even did it with one hand.
Yeah, I thought I would be getting, like, vice grips to give myself, like, extra leverage or something like that. It'd be like, like clipping hedges or something, but it wasn't.
So what it does, it cradles the actual leg of the machine, and you squeeze it to jack it up, and then you're able to turn the leg leveler to your desired length or not length, unlength. And
height.
Yeah, and then you release it.
Yeah.
And boom.
And it releases slow. You can release it.
What a great
controlled.
tool.
Yeah.
I think. And
so thank you, Scott. Thank you, Marco.
Right.
If you are old like us or don't enjoy lifting pinball machines on all fours, get one.
This is great.
It's worth it.
Great tool. Thank you, Scott Solomon, right? Didn't he?
And like he said, it will pay for itself in 1 or 2 chiropractic visits.
Oh, I haven't got that bad, but hopefully I won't.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, what's coming up at the bat? Any new games, tournaments, new games? Anything coming to the bat? Elton John.
Oh, yes, Elton John, and yes, Elton John is coming.
Well, and have we talked about the new game?
We have not.
Did you want to?
We can.
Okay, go.
We have a Stargazer.
Stargazer.
It's beautiful.
We've been wanting a Stargazer for years.
Yes.
I remember years ago I was watching a in-disc stream. Well, I think it was in-disc, and they were playing a Stargazer. And I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Why don't we have one? And you were like, it's because they're $10,000.
Yeah, that's why. Right? For $10,000,
yeah.
I need a game that costs more than 50 cents a play.
Right.
To be able to pay for itself. So, yeah. So our buddy, Greg Davis, picked one up and put it at the bat.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. This is one that somebody built from scratch. So it's not an original Stargazer. It is a, new playfield, repro back glass, and all scratch built. It's beautiful. There have been some major issues with how it was put together.
Right. And luckily we're us, and you could troubleshoot a lot of this stuff.
How
bad was it?
After I was shocked with wall voltage because the wiring, hot was wired to ground on the service outlet, and so just touching the bracket that the service outlet was on gave me wall voltage straight to me.
Woke you up a little bit.
Yeah, there was some obscenities. Loud, and then I saw like, oh geez, this person has miswired this. There were several other instances. There are wires that were just kind of wrapped around coil lugs instead of soldered. Everything looks as though it was soldered with a 200-degree iron, like it's just sort of dropped on there. So,
and I thought this was really weird because somebody who would take on a project like this and he completed it,
Yeah.
But he did some real bonehead, like
rookie moves,
below novice moves, like
things that made it very unsafe.
Right. And you may have mentioned this, not even using solder, just wrapping wires around lugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like that.
And the list goes on. There's a very long list. Maybe I'll do a write-up at some point because it's kind of comical at this point.
For the blog.
Yeah, well, I've gone through it, and John Schoppel has also gone through it, and we've found most of the things, and we've taken away the dangerous stuff. So luckily, I was the only one that got shocked. But yeah, so it's a beautiful machine, and right now it's working. And we're very grateful to Greg, who, he bought it sight unseen. It came from across the country. And it's beautiful, and it's a lot of fun. People are enjoying it. And I got maybe the shock, the voltage maybe gave me the amperage. Maybe it gave me some
like in the
special
cartoons
powers.
When they hit their head, they become a different person. And,
whoa.
Yeah.
Who are you? Why am I here?
Okay. Now.
And Elton John is coming.
I'm going to take a sip of water here. Elton John, which is cool. Our friend Greg's also purchasing that. He's said he'll throw it in the arcade for everybody to enjoy. We played this at Expo, and you put on a show for everybody. You got up there, you put the GC on the game, everybody was watching and clapping.
Yeah, it was
you had a
cool.
crowd. Yeah, it was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff.
I think it's somewhere I think you can find that somewhere online even. It was that was really fun. And as you know, I am not a fan of Elton John the musician.
Right, I am.
You are.
Yeah.
So I still love this game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun to have at the arcade.
It's fun to shoot. A Steve Ritchie game.
Yeah. It's got all the best shots.
Yeah. Good deal. And that will be coming within 2 to 3 weeks, we're thinking.
Yeah, we should have it on the floor soon. Now, we're going on to the mailbag. These are questions, statements, from our friends and pinball family from around the world. We do get questions from around the world. Yeah.
We are going to start off. This is an email. I haven't read this yet, so let's see what happens.
Okay.
It's from our friend Seth. I think you threw this in there, so you read it.
I did.
So
read
I know
this,
it's probably safe to read. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is safe.
Seth, he says, "Yo, to answer y'all's question about Godzilla, it is my best overall earner, even beating out games that I've had longer. But Missoula's weird as my... What, he's talking about Missouri?
Missoula is Montana.
Oh, okay. Montana. I didn't even know that. Is weird as my best earnings rented game is Rush, and the best location earner is Star Wars.
I think that checks out with a lot of... I think Star Wars, very recognizable brand.
Okay.
The people have heard of the Star Wars.
Yes.
So that was in response to us asking about, is Godzilla just an exceptional earner for us? Do we just have lots of rabid Godzilla fans, or how is it in other people's arcades? So he let us know that great earner for him too.
Right.
Top earner.
Thank you, Seth, for your comment.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'd love to hear more feedback from other people with routes and how that stacks up. What games are top earners for them.
Now we have a long question here. I think it's is that Matt Wagner?
Yeah.
It says Matt at the top and then M. Wagner. I figured that was Matt. Hi, Rachel and Kale. How's it going, Matt? Good to hear from you. Huge fan of the podcast. I always enjoyed when you made appearances on the Pinball Party. Pinball Party's great. I just did a live, a week and a half ago. I did a live one. He wants you to come on too.
Yeah.
We want you to come on, not just Jason, but stay tuned for the pinball party. I think we have some more live stuff coming up. It's been really great doing a live show with Jason because you have the comment section.
Mm-hmm. People are tuning in live and asking questions.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. So you can immediately answer the questions and have a little back and forth. Who doesn't love a little back and forth? Yeah. Okay, back to Matt's question.
Happy birthday.
Loved us on the pinball party, and am thrilled you've started your own. Great insights and tips all around. I started dabbling in operating with one machine about a year and a half ago. I now have 3 machines at the same location and have added a small change machine as well. Congratulations, Matt. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's basically how you started.
Yeah.
Just a couple of machines, and now you've blown up. Yeah, so strap in, Matt. It's going to be a wild adventure. My question is about quantity versus quality, right? What is better? Multiple machines that may have a weak IP or gameplay. Example, there's a Gottlieb Diamond Lady for sale by me. I like Diamond Lady.
I do too. Yeah. I'm not sure how much play that would get from casuals. But
Right. Or less machines with stronger IPs, such as Stern Pro. For example, I have 3 System 11s on location, but often hear how well Sterns do on location. That's true. Mm-hmm. Which are out of his budget. Does it make more sense to consolidate games to upgrade, but then reduce my game count in the process? My pricing is 50 cents a game or 3 for $1.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that for us, our best earning Sterns earn more than 3 System 11s put together. Mm-hmm. But I think it would also depend on your location, because if you're getting primarily casuals, then recognizable IP I think is very important.
For sure.
And if you're marketing more towards tournament or pinball nerds, then you can get away with earning more on, F-14s and diners and whatnot.
Right. So it's situational.
It is situational.
But
I would lean towards consolidating and getting recognizable IP. Mm-hmm. And I think you could even pick up, if you picked up a Jurassic or something used,
right?
It doesn't have to be new in box.
Sure.
I think it would be worth it. You could charge a little bit more, and I think that's what I would do.
Yeah. But now what you did is, I've seen you build this thing. You pick games you like playing.
Yes.
Like you put some classic Gottliebs. Mm-hmm. So you weren't necessarily thinking what's going to make me the most money. You knew your audience.
Yeah.
And you knew these will make cool tournament games. And we have a unique audience here, especially in the Valley. People appreciate any game, any machine. They want to play them all.
Yeah.
So you were finding games you enjoyed playing, and most importantly, systems that you were used to working on.
Yeah,
that's another good point. You stick with
I don't
similar
have
systems.
I don't have any Gottlieb System 80s. Mm-hmm. I don't want to work on them. Not because it's just because I don't have those parts. I don't want more. So we have WPCs. We love Classic Valley and Sterns. Those are easy to find parts and boards for.
Most importantly, boards.
Right.
You can get brand new boards that work very well. The Alltech Ultimate series, and then for your Gottliebs, you do the Pascals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really important. System 11s, if that's what you're. And that's just an example that he gave. But I think it's also great to have a variety, because I don't think that you just want to have Stern. As much as we love Sterns, we love playing Sterns.
Right.
It's always nice to have a classic or an earlier game to kind of bounce back and forth between. They're different experiences. They suit different moods, different people. You want that variety. So I would say if you have room for 3 to 5 games, consolidate some of those. Get a new Stern, new-ish Stern, something Spike 2, and then keep maybe one of those System 11s. Maybe get an early classic game, something you enjoy,
right?
Because these are your games, so it's
for sure.
You don't try and just guess what other people will like.
100%.
That's something that we've always done. Is like, do I like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, then we'll get it.
Right.
If I don't like it, then there's plenty of games that we do like. I probably wouldn't. We wouldn't buy it.
Right.
Unless you liked it.
Right. And we have gambled with games like Escape from Lost World.
We was
gave
cool
it a shot.
And weird.
Very cool game. But more of a game we maybe think was like cool at home and not at the arcade. It's hard to keep running. It's terrible for tournaments.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun experiment.
Yeah.
And, we found a great home for it.
Yeah. Somebody who appreciates it.
Yeah, totally appreciates it. Mm-hmm. I will say, if you set up a bunch of Sterns, couldn't get those online.
Even if you just have one.
Hook them up to Insider Connected. We have a new spot that just opened up not far from the house.
Yeah.
And they got like 8 brand new Sterns.
Maybe more.
And they're not even connected. And that was the first comment
that we heard. And then we haven't heard anybody since then.
It's
Nobody's
been crickets.
gone.
The comments were, I went there and the machines were not connected. So I never...
Or updated.
Or even updated. Man, it does not cost anything to hook these things up on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And like I've said before, this is not the best. I mean, just get a TV mounted. I don't know. I mean, if you own the bar, that'll be easy. If you're just routing in the bar, talk the owner into letting you throw a television up there with a Yodeck or some type of device. This will get people more interested in gaming.
Even if it's like a Goodwill, like...
Yeah.
Tiny TV.
Computer monitor.
It's just something that shows a leaderboard. Mm-hmm. Competition makes everything so much more fun.
Right.
And even if it's asynchronous competition, like the leaderboard.
Get it connected.
Do it.
Yes.
Listen to what Kale says. It's his birthday and he's right.
You got to get these things hooked up. It's built in. Why not do it? Okay, so we have another question. Did that come in the email? It's just text.
That is an email.
Okay, this is from email, our friend Pat Marino.
Yeah.
Good question. Hi. I would think you would ruin the playfield cleaning it with Novus 2 all the time, being an abrasive. Novus 2 is abrasive. Mm-hmm. I use it only for ball trails. Mm-hmm. Used to tell Kyle... I guess he is talking about our friend Kyle.
Yeah.
Spiteri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now at Stern.
Yep. He used to be at Marco. Now he's at Stern doing customer service there. Yeah. Give Kyle a call if you have any kind of issue. Used to tell Kyle all the time at Marco he could never explain why he used it and not wax. Well, they're two different things.
Yeah.
Can you answer the question? I wipe it clean first with Novus 1 to get off surface dirt and wax with Blitz or SP100, no dust. In between waxing, I use Wizard's Mist, which is recommended by JJP. Love your podcast. Very informative. Keep it up.
I don't know what Wizard's Mist is, but I'm going to look into it because it sounds cool.
I don't know what Blitz is.
They just use it at home. Wizard's Mist.
Have you ever heard of Blitz?
I have heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
And the SP100, is that Wildcat?
I think is that like CP100, which is naphtha based. I'm assuming that all of those products are naphtha.
In between waxing. Okay.
So here, to answer the question though, we don't use Novus 2 all the time on everything because with the amount of play we get, it would not be great for the playfield to do it all the time. Yeah. We use Novus 1 for most stuff, and then ball trails, we use Novus 2. Places that get very dirty, we use Novus 2.
There are times where we do have to pull out the Novus 2. Never Novus 3. Yeah. Don't ever use Novus 3 on your playfield, any playfield. And we don't use Novus on classics.
Not every once in a while you will if something gets.
But if we've done a playfield swap and we have a clear, yeah, we sometimes will. But
classics don't really get as dirty. They don't. Yeah. There's not as many things that create that dust. So we don't need to, and we do wax those. We don't wax our sterns very often, although John Schoppel does. Mm-hmm. So I guess they are getting waxed now. But that's, I guess, and some people do use naphtha as just their cleaner. I don't like the way it smells. That's really honestly why I don't use naphtha more, because the smell bothers me.
Right. But Pat, what you're doing seems fine. It looks like you're cleaning it very well, and then putting a wax on it. Wizard's mist, huh?
We need some wizard's mist.
We need to see what that's all about.
I gotta find that.
Yeah, I mean, people just you'll see through this industry, and I'm sure it's similar to automotive or any kind of hobby where you're dealing with machinery. There are different ways to do things. I haven't noticed any. I think the amount of plays these machines get at the bat are going to do more harm to them than Novus 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, your home machines. Yeah, you probably never need Novus 2. And I'm just assuming he's talking about stuff at home. He may route machines. I don't know. But there's just so many ways to do things. And I haven't... I've noticed wear from just the playing.
Sure.
But not necessarily...
these get tens of thousands of plays.
Yeah.
It's a big old steel ball. Yeah. But yeah, and we wouldn't recommend anybody use Novus 2 all the time.
Right.
Because it is an abrasive. You want to use it when you need it. Save it for when you need it.
For sure. Mm-hmm. For sure. But
Novus 1 and microfibers.
The real test will be, like 10 to 15 years from now when we tell people how Iron Maiden looks?
Yeah.
Because Iron Maiden was the first modern Stern in the arcade.
Yes.
And that playfield still looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. And that game's got, I'm not sure how many.
Like a million.
Well, it's got a lot of plays on it.
It's got a million plays.
Mm-hmm. 1 million.
Thank you so much for your question, Pat. I wish we had a solid answer for you.
I think we do.
Yeah,
that is a solid answer. Don't use it all the time.
Yeah.
Use it when you need it. Okay. And that's also what he does. So he just uses wizard tools.
Yeah, but I am excited to look into this wizard's mist. That sounds
we
cool.
have some CP100 sitting in the office. So
that's like a solvent, right?
Yeah, but I think it's naphtha.
That's heavy duty stuff. That's like, you can't even sell that in California.
You can't sell anything in California.
I tell you what, we accidentally took some to I probably shouldn't be saying this. We'll probably get fined. We took some to California. We're selling it. You're like, don't talk about it.
But a statute of limitations.
All the California people were like, you have CP100? Yeah, they were buying, and I had to like open up boxes and put it back on the shelf, and that was a good time.
It was a long time ago.
With our pinball cleaning contraband.
Yeah, well, South Carolina has no regulations, and California has all the regulations, so you didn't know.
That was good times. Let's move on. We have another question for the Bat Peeps. That's us. How are you? Man, I tell you what, I'm doing very well.
I'm doing really well, and you know why? We forgot to talk about this, but Bat Peeps reminded me that me and you and the entire Bat Squad and the community at Electric Bat Arcade won a major award.
What did we win?
The Best of Phoenix.
Oh!
We forgot to get that issue yesterday.
Once again.
Yeah. Best arcade in Phoenix.
Best arcade in the Valley.
Well, yeah, I mean, that means the whole...
5 times in a row. Is that right?
Yeah, one year it might have been like best pinball arcade. Like it may have been more specific.
I don't know. We get awards every year, and congratulations to you for doing this thing.
Well, I mean, congratulations to everybody that makes it such a cool place to be.
And all the peeps.
Right, that's the Bat Peeps.
The Bat Peeps. Yeah, congratulations, and thank you. If you hang out at the Bat and make this place a wonderful place that it is, that award's for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bat Peeps, how are you? We're doing well today, especially. It's my birthday.
Don't know if we're
living
that
it
yet.
up. We're living it up. Wanted to ask you a few questions for your show, the program.
The program.
Yep. Number 1. Heard your take on Galactic Tank Force. Ooh, I haven't read
haven't heard it all.
I haven't read this yet. So hold on, let me get through this one.
Let me get some water. It's going to be a good one.
Galactic Tank Force. What a game, huh? I've always wanted one, but now because of what you said, I don't. That's good. But my question is, if they are so bad and unreliable, how have AP managed to attend so many shows with multiple machines and had them running 24/7? Well, that's actually not the case with no issues. Is this just yours? What are you doing about it? We have some new news.
We have new news.
Okay,
first
so
off,
who goes first?
Well, we'll address the first part. They've made the supposition that Galactic Tank Force, because it is at shows, that it's running well and consistently at those shows. That is not true.
We've been to these shows and we've seen them down.
And there's lots of other, not just us. We've seen a lot of people online saying that they had wanted to play one, but it was down. So first part of that, they hadn't been up.
Right.
Second part of that, what are we doing about it?
First we retired the game.
Yeah, the game's been in our office for a while. David Fix, very friendly fellow.
Right.
He sent us some beta code to try and fix, a potential solution. Now
this is after he thought it was the trough switch,
right? Which
I think he's doing a podcast tour right now, telling everybody that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the issue with our game. It was
a trough switch.
Was a trough switch, which that's just not accurate.
It's not the trough switch.
Right.
We thoroughly tested the trough switch.
Trough switch, amazingly enough, the trough switch is fine.
Perfect. It's the best trough switch.
That's the only thing they nailed. Yeah. And the art. Franchi killed the art. Yeah.
Trough switch works fine. So the rocket science needs to be used elsewhere to diagnose all of the issues with this game. So they sent us an email saying, here's some beta code. Full disclosure, though, we don't really know what's wrong with your machine, so we're not sure how to address it with this code. And, because the main problem was that our Galactic Tank Force was losing track of balls and just doing weird things, freezing, not moving on to the next ball. And after we installed that beta code, it no longer did any of those things.
Yep.
In fact, it no longer did anything at all because it put it in a boot loop.
Wow. So it bricked the
game.
The new code bricked the game.
Completely bricked the game.
And then we thought, let's give it another shot. Reinstall this new code.
Right, because sometimes there's that can happen. So I reinstalled it. This is 18 gigs.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Huge download.
Huge amount of code. Reinstalled it, same thing. So the code, I don't know what's in the code, but it didn't work.
Right.
Long story short, this game is going back to American.
And
they are sending us a brand new, fresh off the line, thoroughly inspected Galactic Tank Force Deluxe Edition.
Right, I have my doubts. Yes, they are going to send us a brand new machine,
which I'm really grateful for. That's a very nice gesture, right?
That's sort of unheard of in the pinball world.
So I appreciate that very much.
It seems like they're trying.
Yes, I do feel like this is going back to that old American pinball customer service from the old days. We'll see. Yet to be determined how this works. We will report back. Either it will be great, or it will be horrible, or somewhere in between, and we'll let you know. We're shipping them back this one, and they're shipping us a new one. And we hope that it is great.
Yeah. And now to answer part of his question, is it just yours?
No.
No, it's not just ours. We have talked to many people with machines that are having the exact same issue. It's obviously a software issue. Rachel has found a way to spoof the machine, to recreate the issue over and over again. She's tried to tell American. I don't think they're listening. But it's not just our machine. Our buddy with a local arcade just ordered the flagship model.
The fancy one.
The fancy one that looks like a tank. Opened it up. Doesn't work out of the box. An American has said looks like they shipped it with a faulty power supply, so they're going to send them another one.
Which is really weird. They should have known that before it left the factory. If you cannot turn... If the game doesn't work from initial turn on, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, still kind of, and we actually, another friend of ours who has an arcade, not in this state, had the same issue the Galactic Tank Force wouldn't work. They took it back and shipped them a brand new one. Same thing happened. So I mean, I don't have much trust in that. This is a fix. I don't think this is not a David Fix. Yeah.
But I will say, David Fix is very pleasant to talk to.
He's very pleasant to talk to. But when it comes to like running a company, it's sort of mids. I mean, he's got a huge task at hand here.
It's a big ask, and I think maybe there's not the resources. And I don't run a pinball. Well, I do run a pinball company. But it takes somebody. It really takes somebody truly extraordinary to turn around a company like this, like real leadership. And what they have is moderate at best right now. I am hoping for the best. Yeah. Look, I'm so positive today. It's been an experience. So would I recommend that somebody buy a Galactic Tank Force? At this time, I would not recommend it because I don't have any experience telling me that it's a good idea.
Right.
It's a beautiful game.
Right. And the sad part is, like, you'd think we'd be very happy. Oh, they're going to send us a brand new game. But even when this game is working properly, it's got like shit flippers. Remember, even when it was working properly, they would fail.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Which was the same thing with Hot Wheels. I think this just is something up with their software and operating system.
But if it gets better, we will let you know. Like Spooky. That's our
well, if you go from Halloween to Scooby-Doo, man, they've learned some stuff. Yeah. And while we're on the topic of spooky, we're getting Looney Tunes.
Yeah. You would think we'd be getting Texas Chainsaw Massacre right. given our proclivities. However, Looney Tunes.
Mark Pearson is bringing gracing us with Looney Tunes.
Number 10. We'll have it shortly.
Yep, we'll have one of the first ones off the line. We're excited about it. The video looked cool. The shots look interesting. This is cool. I mean, hopefully these kids are getting better at what they're doing. They're learning something, and
we are always
put out a great product
to give people more chances. If they prove that they're doing something. So once we resolved that Scooby-Doo shooter thing, which involved, I don't even remember at this point. You did a lot of
people
work
are still
on it.
having issues with that. They've been messaging me even recently, like, how do you keep your Scooby running?
The best solution, I believe, is to install a Bally Williams shooter assembly.
You can do that?
I mean, you're gonna have to probably
have people
drill
done that?
some things. Yes, people have done that with success because that way you've got a backup. You've got a physical plunger.
Oh, they're actually drilling through.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's what we were about to do until you did some mechanical magic and made it work. But that game has been holding up very well. We had a coin door pop open by surprise.
And we had to replace the boards.
They replaced the boards, yeah. But Halloween caught on fire. Scooby-Doo, you couldn't get the ball on the playfield and the boards melted. But after we resolved those, we haven't had to open that game up, knock on
whatever this is,
for a while. And so I'm hopeful that Looney Tunes will be even better.
I think it's going to be cool. Yeah. Either way, owning a spooky game is always an adventure, especially when you're trying to operate it.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Okay, and this is also from, I haven't said, who is this? Oh, Steve London. And Steve London is in the UK. I wonder if he's in London.
His last name is really London?
That's what it says. Steve London.
Wow.
Didn't you put this here?
Yeah, I didn't notice that. But
okay, here's the second.
They named a city after
question. Hope we answered all your questions about Galactic Tank Force. If not, just
send us more.
Yeah, send us more questions.
We'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted.
Maybe the new one is going to be the best thing ever.
We'll find out. But I really can't wait to get it back on the floor.
Yeah,
because it earned.
It earned.
It just didn't play. It earned.
Yeah, people enjoy it.
But what's funny is
it's a fun game.
Recently, one of our players, Matt, he's like, he used to love playing it, and he didn't mind putting a buck in the machine, even though he knew it would end up screwing him, just because it was such a weird game.
Yeah. So,
okay. So next question from Steve London. I'm in the UK. Games are much more expensive here. Blood Red, which is the
Elvira,
is $20,000. I wonder how much the Bond 60th was for him. Hey,
yeah, tell us how much Bond 60th was. So, out here, Elvira was 13,
something like that. It was actually reasonable.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy.
Didn't he try to sell one for like 30 or something? So my friend did an in-depth video about balls. Stern balls are awful straight out of the box. Check out his channel. He put a link in here.
Okay.
What feedback do you guys give your manufacturers about this? Why are there consistently so many awful parts used that could be so easily fixed but aren't, like balls and noisy fans? What parts do you think each manufacturer should be upgrading urgently and switch out? Go through each manufacturer. What brand pinballs do you recommend for magnet games and non-magnet games? Wow, this could be like a whole episode.
Right.
And we do have some insight on this.
Yeah, we know a lot about this.
So the very interesting stuff about the balls.
Yeah.
So I think I can talk about this now. I don't know.
We'll find out. Right, one way or another, we'll find out.
Because the industry has changed and people are getting balls from other places. But the funny thing was, back in the day...
Actually, I want to stop you right there before you get to it to say that I have not experienced that Stern balls are bad out of the box.
No.
But I do know that you get shipments, and then you get a different shipment, and then you get a different shipment. Mm-hmm. So it may be that there was one shipment that... I didn't watch this video, so I don't know. That was... less good than other ones, but
yeah.
I just would like to say that has not been our experience,
right?
Writ large.
Really the biggest thing you need to watch out for when you buy a ball is pitting.
Yes.
When they go through the lapping process, there could be some impurities in the steel. And the reason we know a lot about this is because Marco Specialties used to import like every single ball that was in any machine.
100% at one point.
Yeah. It is, and what I mean by pitting, you can see this with your eyes. You don't need a magnifying glass or anything. There'll be
dark spots.
Yeah, dark spots in the balls. As long as you don't have that, I mean, they're fine. They're just steel ball bearings. I mean, people act like these are like precious things. These are just steel ball bearings from China. Mm-hmm. The reason they're from China is because that's the cheapest source. We used to try to get balls made in the States, and the price was astronomical. And the quality wasn't that much better. So
it would end up just for reference, the cost. I believe it was more than 10 times as high.
Yes.
Source.
Yeah.
So that just so you know,
right.
When we say astronomical, it was at least 10 times higher.
Sure. But back in the day, like all the balls were coming from Marco Specialties. They were imported. As you can imagine, it is very expensive to get pallets of pinballs shipped to the States.
It's tons.
Right. So not many companies were willing to put down that kind of capital to make that happen. Marco was. And we were selling to everybody. So we used to laugh our ass off when everybody was arguing about who had the best balls. And they were saying...
This one is better than this one.
Right. There was like, the balls that come with this machine from this very big manufacturer are garbage. Throw them out as soon as you get them and put Marco balls in there. People didn't realize they were putting the same damn balls in the machine. So it's like people just aren't aware of what they're talking about. These were all... And we were selling balls to other companies to resell them. And they were arguing about X company has a better ball than this company, so get them back from Marco. It was all a big crazy mess, and it was a lot of fun to see people arguing about it on Pinside. And we would never get in there to set the story straight because why? Just
enjoy the show.
Yeah, just enjoy the show. Things have changed.
There's a lot of stuff in the industry that's like that. I think over the years of this podcast, people would be surprised. We've been privy to a lot of fun stuff.
Right. There's a lot of stuff out there that, people, just the insiders don't talk about and just let people argue about it on Pinside. Mm-hmm. There's no kind of like weird ball conspiracy. I mean, they're just steel ball bearings. They're all the same, except for... You have your chrome steel balls, which would Marco brands those as silver jets.
Silver jets are the fancy, super shiny, and they're super hardened all the way through.
Correct. Like if you were to take a standard steel ball bearing, your standard pinball, and cut it in half, you're going to have like this crust, the outside layer, which is somewhat shiny, and then the middle is like all black and what you would see if there was pitting in the ball, right? If you take like a silver jet and cut it in half, it looks the same all the way through. It is denser. You're not going to get as many divots and scratches over the years, and
it will magnetize easier.
That's the main issue. You're probably not going to want to put this in a dialed in or a silver jet in a dialed in. You're going to want to use a standard ball. Those are your two major differences in balls. And there are other companies have their own brands of chrome steel balls,
and they may be getting them from various. Like we said, we haven't been on the manufacturing side of this for some time now, and I have heard that people are maybe getting the different sources for things, but there are two basic things, and they're going to manufacture them under their fancy premium ball or their standard ball. And we always put the fancy premium. We use silver jets in every game that we have that does not have a lot of magnets in it.
For sure.
And they stay shiny longer, and they're real pretty in a classic Bally. And then we use the standard balls which is just a standard Marco pinball, PB116.
Right.
In our magnet games.
And to continue with that, he wants us to go through each manufacturer and what we think. But that would take for a long time. But let's just say there are pinball manufacturers that have certain parts that seem to consistently break, whether it be a coil stop or screw. What happens here is in the supply chain and manufacturing chain, a large company is going to order a ton of one part. I mean,
you mean I'm not going to just order 24 coil stops at once,
or try to get a quote on
25 springs?
Right. So they'll buy 10,000 to 100,000 of a certain part. And they might use these parts for many years. If they find out there's a slight issue for them, they're not going to just chunk them and then have there's no telling how much this all cost them. So they would have to slowly change that out once they got rid of all these parts. So that's what you see. These manufacturers are not using less than quality parts, because they want to.
No, it's one of those things like, man, it didn't turn up in the last batch, and then for some reason this batch is this way.
Right.
But I have, 144,000 landed.
Yeah.
What do I do?
And we would see that happen at Marco Specialties, but we might be dealing with, like 10 parts, and we're like, hey, this is not the same stuff you sent us last time. Oh, well, we changed to this, and then we decide, okay, well, we're going to send this back. Can you give us, a better quality? But when you're talking about thousands and thousands of parts, it is harder to change those quickly.
And I think that people assume nefariousness or chintziness,
right,
where it is not there. Like we've really truly been on all corners of this industry, and we haven't ever come across anybody that I can think of off the top of my head that was intentionally trying to screw someone over.
Right.
It was people doing the best they could with what they had, but supply chain is weird. It's really weird, especially if you're dealing with overseas stuff. It's very unpredictable and very difficult.
Right. I mean, just a case in point, I remember when we were at Marco Specialties, we got like a pallet of defective balls. Now, we were just stuck with these. What do you do with them? So you kind of have to, you're eating thousands and thousands of dollars.
Spending a lot of time on the phone.
Until you find somebody with an art project or something. Yeah.
eBay.
So there you go. I hope we answered your question. And we're sorry you're having to spend so much money. $20,000 for a blood red Elvira.
It's really cool looking, though.
Okay. This is another question from the email from Pinball Windfall. Is that from email? Pinball Windfall.
Nope, that's from Discord.
Oh, Discord. Pinball Windfall on Discord. If you want to chat with him and all of us on Discord, you can find the link on our website under the podcast tab. Interested to know the BAT perspective on operating a few 3 to 5 machines and bars. Would you rely on just using the CoinMex, add a bill acceptor, or e-payment system that would allow payment by phone, credit card, or other? My thoughts are people don't carry much change anymore, not enough games to warrant tokens or a change machine, and I don't want patrons to bother the bar staff to make change or break larger bills. What would you do?
I would add a bill acceptor.
3 to 5 machines in a bar.
Bill acceptor.
Bill acceptor.
I would look into some sort of credit card payment because we heard about some that could potentially work for small scale things like this. But I think the first thing I would do would be a bill acceptor.
Can you put those in classic games?
Well,
might be a sticking point there. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know how that would go.
Okay. I think bill acceptor and the ones that do accept bill acceptors, and then maybe one of those tiny, like, tabletop.
Yeah, because you can buy those inexpensively.
Right, change machine.
Yeah, they just hold like $100 in quarters or something.
Right. Yeah.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Cool.
Simple.
But you would stay away from swipe or credit card systems.
I would wait to do those until the machines have proven themselves at the location, which is a little bit of a chicken and egg, right? But
but also
that's a very big investment.
You have to worry about a payment portal taking 10 to 20% of whatever you're making off of 3 to 5 machines. That's a big dent. I'm
just not that person. I just I like. We've talked about it ad nauseum.
Right,
so
right.
Bill acceptor and a small change machine, a small inexpensive change machine.
Next question.
Alrighty.
Gutter Ghoul. I thought we went over. Did we not go over this one? Dream lineup. That's new. Is that new?
I didn't think we covered that before.
Okay.
We'll do it again if we did.
This is from Gutter Ghoul.
Our buddy Gutter Ghoul.
Yeah. What's your dream lineup for 5 rounds of group match play? Either 5 machines where you know you'll mow everybody down. I'm never sure I'm going to mow everybody down. The people at the bat are too damn good. Or 5 machines where you'll have the most fun competing.
Classics.
You want to say? I was about to say classics. Like 5 machines. I would rather play classics because I think it. Well, not against some people. Because like recently in the finals, I played Adam Horton, and he picked the Bank with Stars, and he's good at classics.
He's great. Yeah, right? I don't want to go
against. It does. I'm never going to beat Adam at a classics game. So there's. I think I would do like 3 classics and then
like a WPC.
A WPC, then a Stern.
Yeah.
Right?
And the Sterns that I happen to know best would be like Jurassic Park, or probably Jurassic Park is the Stern that I know the best.
Right.
Oh, 007 right now.
Oh yeah, you've been practicing that game. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's a little mix, but a mix, but heavy on the classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic Bally, classic Gottlieb.
We haven't seen the Gottliebs in a while.
I know. The Gottliebs actually used the grandsons
of the Gottlieb,
Mr. Gottlieb. They used to play with us, but I think they moved to like Hawaii or something. Every time I see them, they've taken photos in this tropical location, which looks really nice.
Wow.
Yeah, we miss those boys. Okay, so moving on. Jardcade. Sorry.
Our
buddy Jard. He goes by Jardcade. It's like his little pinball business.
Yep.
He's running tournaments now.
Starting next week.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. We love that. For the next pod, what are some tips you'd give someone on their first time TDing? This is important because this is a scary thing.
Yeah, it's intimidating to get into TDing. You're always afraid that other people know more than you, or you're going to screw something up. First, I'll start off by saying Jard is having his Christmas tournament, which is his foray into running tournaments, next Thursday, which is the 14th at 6:30 p.m. And that's going to be, and there's a lot of prizes, cash prizes, and I think raffle-y prizes, cool stuff. He's a great guy, and this is going to be, as far as I know, his very first time being a TD. The number one thing I would do would be read the IFPA rule sheet. It's like 6 pages or something.
Right. It's not very long.
Yep. Read it thoroughly. Read it a couple of times, and then ask questions of more experienced TDs if there are things that are not clear. And the other main thing that I would recommend is to be consistent.
Yeah.
Because even if you do make a mistake, you're making the same mistake across the board, and nobody feels
slighted.
Yeah. I will say that TDing gets much, much easier as you do it. Yep. This last tournament that we had, that was the league finals, I had to make some very difficult calls,
heartbreaking.
Yeah. Some critical things that mattered. And it was.
Did it help that? This is not a stab at your playing ability. You weren't in the finals, but did that help that you weren't playing in the finals?
100%.
Right.
Because I'm only thinking about, I'm able to keep my eye on what's going on, and I'm not distracted. But I mean, I TD and play all the time, so I don't think it would have been a huge deal. But all of the other TDs were in the finals, so
yeah. One thing I would tell Jardcade is that do not let players push you around, and they
will try.
They are 100% going to try.
And even not intentionally.
Right, not intentionally.
They're very emotional. They don't want to get a DQ, or they don't, for whatever may happen.
Right.
They're emotionally invested, and some of that's just going to come out.
Sure. You are the judge and jury. You make this. You have to make important decisions here. The worst thing, the thing that I have had to deal with when making decisions is that the players will explain what happened and then how they want to proceed. If they try to do that, just say, hey, slow down. All I need to know are the facts. I don't need to know how the players would like to proceed when there was an infraction.
Right.
Because it's not up to them. And they think it is. They're like, well, all of us agreed.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't matter.
We really like player 3, and we don't want him or her to be DQ'd. Well,
right.
That's great, but things need to be consistent across the board.
100%.
And you don't even know. One of the things I like to encourage is, tell me what happened, using player 2, player 4. I don't want to know the names, because it makes it easier for everybody if you can see that I am making an objective decision. This isn't based on, whether or not so-and-so brought cookies that night or something.
Certainly.
So that's both of us would say consistency and be familiar with the rules. And then your first go out, like Jard is going to be TDing next Thursday, but I'll be there. You'll be there. Yeah. And if you have a question, ask someone with more experience.
He's going to have plenty of help.
You want to, you're going to be a junior TD before you're a senior TD.
And also, I would recommend joining the IFPA Discord.
Yes.
And going, you could do it every day if you had the time, but at least every week, look at the recent discussions. Because that will get you into the mentality of how to deal with they post some weird situations there.
Yeah.
But remember, the ultimate ruling is with you. So just be confident. And you know what? If you make a mistake, you'll learn from it, and you'll be able to adjust for other tournaments you run. Cool. Thank you so much, Jard, for the question. Now we have a good one here from Coin Slot Scott.
Coin Slot Scott.
His question is a possible Batcast debate. Should auxiliary lighting of games be allowed in tournaments?
So we think this. Interesting. I think this came up because the photo that you posted of Mark winning the last one, he's wearing a headlamp.
Right.
Mark does not wear a headlamp when he plays. You just happened to catch him, hey, let me take your picture while he was working on a machine.
Yeah.
So he turned around and he had the headlamp on, and that sparked this whole, can you wear a headlamp?
The debate. Yeah.
The debate.
But not just headlamps, any auxiliary lighting.
Auxiliary lighting.
Yeah.
And we have players that use a variety of auxiliary lighting.
Right.
And there have been some in real life debates about this recently, but there is no rule against it.
Right.
So I will make no rule against it.
Yeah.
Does it give an unfair advantage, do you think?
It can. On certain situations, especially when a mode has a strobing effect.
Or a darkening effect.
What comes to mind is Attack from Mars. Yeah, I think it's called Strobe Multiball, right?
It is, in fact, called Strobe Multiball.
I think you're obviously going to have an advantage if you have a bright light on the playfield, which is going to eliminate the strobing. Also, Venom has a strobing mode.
Game of Thrones.
Lots
of games have.
Right.
Seizure-inducing.
And there is an argument there. You're changing the way the game was designed to be played, and then the other side of the argument will just bring your own headlamp.
If you have if you've got a problem with someone else using a light, if you think that makes it easier for them, bring your own.
Right.
That's
the lighting doesn't bother me, but I can see where some players are like, that's unfair. There also may be players with some type of visual disability that they need extra lighting.
Or maybe they'll have a seizure if they start seeing.
That does happen.
I mean, it hasn't happened.
I'll start stimming in the corner.
No, that did happen. We had a girl have a seizure.
Oh, we
did.
Remember that? Yes, I forgot about her.
Yeah,
I wonder where
years.
She's been. She may have moved. We haven't seen her.
Moved away.
We haven't seen her in a long time.
But she had on more than one occasion had seizures playing pinball.
If I remember, it wasn't a game with what we were talking about as a strobing effect. It was just a general.
Well, all the flashing.
Right. It was. She just passed out and fell back.
Bam.
And luckily she was okay. She got right back up and was like, "What happened?"
Yeah, but it's scary.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
So. In conclusion, use a light if you want to. That
is what we think about all that. Is all this old?
Everything else is, that's.
So we're at the end.
We are at the end.
That was it. What are we at? Hour 17?
Woo.
Man, time flies when you are having fun on your birthday. Wow. So what's going on? Do we need to update people on any news? We kind of went over tournaments. We're having Chewy's.
Okay, well, Jards is next Thursday, the 14th of December at 6:30 p.m.
6:30.
And Chewy's end of the year holiday bash is Sunday the 17th at noon.
Good deal. Both tournaments where you can get your end of year Whopper points, which are very important for some people, teetering on that top 24 line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're within shooting distance with a couple of these.
I don't know about this year. Maybe next year if I can keep this streak up and keep playing like the champ that I am.
Yes, you are the champ. Wonderful.
Right on. So I don't have any more news or anything like that. If you have any questions for us and the Bat Squad.
Or Mike Vinacore, who will be joining us in our next podcast.
That is very important.
So, yes, all of your Mike, especially Mike questions, because it's a special treat to have him here with us next week. And
In the studio.
In the studio, live in person.
Yeah.
Mike Vinacore. So send us your questions to electricbatarcade@gmail.com or join our Discord, which you can reach on our website.
Yes, on the podcast tab on our website, go in there. There's links to all kind of different ways you can watch and listen to this podcast. And there's a link to the Discord. You can also send questions to electricbatarcade@gmail.com.
Yes.
.com.
And then thanks to our sponsors, too. Game Room Goodies, real fantastic people in the business. Marco Specialties.
Yep.
Stern, Insider Connected.
Yep. And we eat our own dog food. We use all of these companies' products and services. And that's why we want them to be a part of this great thing.
Yep. We're all in it together.
Right on. Another cool thing is, since Mike Vinacore will be in town, he's going to play in the tournament with us on Tuesday.
Yeah. So if you're local,
this coming Tuesday, if you want to play with somebody who actually is a part of the team that brings these wonderful machines to life, he loves talking about them, and he's going to bring some cool Stern goodies to give out at the tournament. So join us there. Tuesday, 6:30.
Start of a new series. You can,
it's a brand new
bring
series.
your...
and this will be for next year, right?
Yes. Yeah. These whoppers will not go in until January.
This series will end in January. Fantastic.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm glad you could come into the studio. We love chatting with you and getting a little insight on running an arcade.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And thank you for the flowers. I think this is the first time anybody's given me flowers. This is really exciting. I teared up a little bit when you gave them to me.
You're special and you deserve it.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for joining us. Send us any questions or any topics you want us to go over for the next episode with Mike Vinacore.
Bats are out.
And right now the bats are out. We're going to do the super secret bat handshake. All right. Hope y'all have the best day. Thank you for joining us.